And welcome back. Hope you saw video 1 about building up the hub. We have that now. We have our 2 smelters. We have the advanced modded research running. Actually, no, I deactivated it because it was consuming too much power. But we discovered how it works now, more or less. Time to complete our tier 0 and do some mod highlighting, because there are a lot here. Now, some of them are free, and some of them cost some resources, but I want to point out which ones I'm using, all the mods that I'm using, and why I'm using them, and the consequences thereof. Now, the first one, I'm going to work from right to left here, is the stackable instead pull. The instead part is very important. When you build conveyors, where is it? Where is it? Conveyor. There we go. When you build conveyors like this, you automatically get one of these poles underneath, but this is a singular pole. That's it. This particular mod here replaces that automatic pole placement with a stackable variant. Stackable variant is in the game, takes a while to unlock, but this mod immediately gives you access to that stackable variant. Unfortunately, it also gives you access to Mark 2, 3, 4, and 5 conveyor belts. And these are very high tier items that I should not get access to straight away. So this mod is not properly paced in the game. It's kind of, you should download and use it maybe when you're at tier 7, because if I go here now, you can see I have access to very high level conveyor belts that I should not have access to just yet. So I have to use your restraint and not use them until I have the, let's say, official unlock done for those conveyor belts. Alright, satellite link. Satellite link is a bit of an old one. It's a bit outdated, but it essentially builds a vehicle that doesn't do anything. It's completely disabled, but once you get in, you get a camera view from high up. It's a sort of midway satellite link, and it gives you a nice overview. I don't actually use it anymore, but I still apparently have it installed. So I'll just gather the resources for that and unlock it, and you'll see me when I'm done. This satellite link from a mod is quite expensive, 500 plates. Well, it's 500 plates is nothing late game, but early game it's quite expensive. I set up a little production line here from miner to smelter to producer to automate my plate production. So this thing should be pooping out plates now. There we go. And I don't have to do that by hand anymore. And my paperweight can take a break. Alright, just wanted to show you that, and you'll see me when I get the 500 plates. Alright, production is coming along nicely. We're almost at 500. We're now at exactly 300. Great. And I realized that there are a couple of mods that I'm running that will not show up here in the milestone display. So I decided to highlight them as we wait for the plates to be produced. And these are visually recognizable here in the build menu. The first one being the achievement shelf. The achievement shelf is, well, pretty much that. It's a shelf that has achievements, and those achievements almost all pertain to a certain production per minute. So if you start producing plates, like I think 1,000 per minute, you get an achievement and it shows up on the shelf. It's a nice little mod, and that allows you to decorate your factory a bit and personalize your game. Here are all the achievements, by the way. Alright, I think this is a mod by, once again, Andre Aquila. Most of the mods I use are from him. As a matter of fact, I think close to 50% of the mods of the game are made by him. So you'll see that name a lot. So that's one that is not unlocked through the milestone. It just shows up straight away. What else do we have? The recycle mod. Right, time to highlight that one. This is a recycler, but apparently some of the other machines have new recipes to deconstruct things as well. I haven't really used this one yet, and I may not use it at all, but I like the idea that you can actually recycle back things into basic components. So I thought it was a very nice, very lore-friendly and interesting mod, so I definitely installed it. And that's that. Anything for walls. This is a decorative mod that allows you to build a few more things. We will get a lot more decoration as I unlock more milestones, but this one unlocked straight away. I'll pop up the creator on the screen somewhere as I'm telling you this. Utility signs. I love signs. Now there are quite a few mods that I have that give different kinds of signs, so I don't know which is better over another. I'm not sure where this one comes from. I hope I can find the mod that gives me these utility signs. They look rather nice. Let's see if I can actually, you know what, no, I'll do that later. Build one, but I'll do that later. Flags are pretty nice too. Unfortunately, most of all these flags are from top to bottom, so they're vertical, and yet the imprints on them are horizontal. That's kind of a shame. I wish they put more flags in, like this one, the square flag, and the regular flag, where it is either a horizontal orientation or more textures that are vertically designed, which would be very nice. But very nice to decorate your factories with. Organization. Now here are a couple of mods indeed. Now I've unlocked the basic storage container. This thing comes from the vanilla game, but thanks to Andre once again, we have early access to larger containers. Now the vanilla game comes with this container and one that is twice as high with twice the capacity, but these special containers here, they go horizontally. We got a double one, which lines up perfectly with a conveyor wall, so that's pretty nice. And we got a triple one. Now I don't know why Andre has put two triple containers in the mod. As you can see, they're perfectly identical. I see absolutely no difference between them at all. But yeah, there they are. And as I said, this lines up with a wall that we'll unlock later, which will hook up these conveyor belts rather nicely. So that's a nice addition to logistics. There's also this small container mod made by somebody else, which is beautiful as well. It's small, but that's the whole point. So it's kind of a really handy-dandy little buffer that you can place on just about any conveyor belt. And that's probably its primary use, just to buffer the resources flowing through. But if you're tight for space, or you realized, oh, I need a container somewhere, but I forgot to design it in, maybe you can use one of these. Quite handy. I think it's for 8 slots. Yeah, just 8 slots. And the regular one here, this is 24. So twice the size, I think, of this one. Yeah, but twice the size, but 3 times the capacity. And these are 72 slots, I believe. Yeah. This is also 24. Oh, that is peculiar. This one's twice the size, but same capacity as the regular one. Alright, fair enough. And this is a 72 one. Alright. Now, the unique crate organizer. Now, this is a lovely little thing. It's ugly as hell, but it's very useful. For those who don't know, when you deconstruct something with F, the materials that you used to build it in the first place show up in your inventory. But if your inventory is full, those materials will drop to the ground in a sort of disposable crate, which is very annoying. Sometimes you don't notice, sometimes you miss them, sometimes you forget. It's super annoying. And this little crate, or big crate, I should say, this is a really large version of that crate that falls onto the ground. This automatically collects any crates that are accidentally created by having a full inventory and puts it in this collectible crate all over the map, collected in one spot. Very handy dandy, so you'll never ever accidentally miss those crates again that then disappear on under a foundation because you weren't paying attention. And you can even automate its output, as you can see here. So this is a handy dandy little OCD friendly cleanup machine. It's pretty expensive to build though, early game, so I'll have to build one later. But that's another mod by Andre, thank you very much. Power, these are the regular power ones, nothing special. We've seen the research mod, I'll highlight it again, because I don't remember if I did it before. By, I think somebody called Oh No, but you'll see it on the screen. Very interesting mod indeed, particularly the part, as I mentioned in previous video, the fact that we can now get directly to the alternate recipes without the randomization, because that really pissed me off, to be honest. One of the reasons why this pisses me off, by the way, if you start playing this game and you progress through the tiers quite fast, let's say at tier 6, this is 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, tier 5 or 6, and at that point you start looking for hard drives, what happens is when you research a hard drive, it adapts to what tier you have unlocked. So the later you start looking for hard drives, the more alternate recipes can pop up out of the hard drive. But you only get an option of 3 recipes. So you may end up, let's say the chance of getting a bad triple choice is a lot bigger when you have more milestones unlocked than when you have only 1 or 2 milestones unlocked. Like I said, one extremely good recipe is this one, the casted screws. It saves a lot of power and machines to build the exact same product. And if you start looking for this particular recipe when you have milestone 5 or 6 unlocked, you need probably around 30 hard drives before that recipe actually pops in. But if you start looking for hard drives when you only have tier 1 or 2 unlocked, the chance of getting this particular recipe is a lot greater because you only have access to these few recipes to begin with. Only these can pop up because you haven't unlocked the other tiers yet. It's very handy that these tier numbers are actually located here. This is a tier 0. That's interesting. Copper alternate alloy. Unfortunately, you cannot see the recipe itself. That is a shame. I wish you could see the actual recipe. I don't know why this is popping up. Doesn't make much sense. I think I'm not sure why this is showing up when I hover over it. Anyways, I love the fact that we can now handpick every recipe that we want and not have to rely on randomization anymore. So that's probably the best part of this research mod so far. Was there anything else that I missed? Logistics? Nope, that was it. We already discussed this because of the other unlock that we did here with the replacement stackable pole. So let's do the satellite link, please. Oh, this one's full. Are we there yet? No, we're at 400 now. Alright, I'll take a quick break, and you'll see me when I get the last 100 plates. Alright, I just unlocked the milestone, and for demonstrative purposes, I also got the resources to actually build it. So here's one now. This is just a vanilla truck, but it's a little different. First of all, it's really wonky, as you can see. I don't know why that is. It does not have a inventory, does not have a workbench like the normal one does. You just get in or you get out, and that's all it does. It doesn't even drive around. But when you're in there, as you can see, very easy way of getting a nice overview of your base. However, this mod is kind of old and surpassed by a couple of other mods that do the same or something very similar. But I still like it. It's very immersive friendly. It's a satellite truck, essentially. And this is the area we're currently working at. It's a nice overview. That's it. That's pretty much what it does. Helps you plan and lay out your base, I guess. Hit E again to get out. The only downside, as I said, it's pretty darn expensive to build. Early game, at least. But it's a handy-dandy little mod. Alright, we can finally move on to the next one. What comes after that? Refined Power. Now, Refined Power is a whole series of milestones that go throughout the tiers. The first one is just a patron wall you unlock for those who financially support the people that actually develop this kind of work, this kind of stuff. So,
a message from the Refined R&D branch of Fixit. We would not be as motivated as much as we are without you, and cannot give back as much as we would ever want. This is our way of saying thank you to all of you that support our work while working on Fixit farming. We love you guys to death. Even just using the mod means a lot to us. Thank you so much. Regards, Refined R&D. Now go back to work.
Yeah, go back to work. Alright, that is a detail. They actually used Ada's voice processing to make these messages. That's I for detail. And as you can see, it's the same team that works on Fixit Farming, which is also a very, very nice mod we'll encounter later. Alright, more hand slots. This is the only mod I could find that actually does this. It just gives you more hand slots for just 5 leaves. I'm going to have to wait until the pod is back. You'll see more slots pop up here. There's just one little drawback. You also get, through the vanilla game, a couple of more hand slots, which in my opinion is not enough. You get a total of 10 hand slots now with the mod. Otherwise, it'd only be 5. But these hand slots are going to bump upwards and cover the body slot here, which is kind of a graphical glitch. But everything still functions perfectly fine. This is one of the mods, however, that doesn't seem to work with multiplayer. But I like using it for a very specific reason, that I don't need to constantly put things in and out of my inventory that requires to be in your hands to be used. Such as, for instance, and this is a completely different mod, the More Factory tablet. We can craft one for free. There you go. And this is a bypass to the normal building menu that you open with Q. Instead, you grab the tablet, you activate it, let me see, there you go, and you get a whole bunch of stuff. Some other mods support this tablet, so their content will show up in this tablet as well. But this is mostly, I would say, decorative things like stairs, better ladders. I don't know why they're called stairs, but they're ladders. And some other things. Some are functional, like this tank. Very, very nice tank for liquids. And there are visual indicators in it too. Much better than the vanilla ones, in my opinion. And the item wally and the fluid wally, you place them on the wall, and you can place them anywhere you want on the wall, so you're not stuck to the standard positions. Gives you more flexibilities, and a couple of other things that you can build. Very nice decorative things. There is an indicator for this thing though, and that's why these here are already unlocked. Walls, foundation, parts, factory door, stairs, vehicle, I don't know, must be from a different mod, but these are actually supportive milestones that make the tablet work. So that's why these were pre-unlocked of launching the game. Letters! More stuff to decorate your base with letters. Oh, I like this one. This is not a letter, it's a logo. We're going to stick these everywhere. What's that? Fix-it logo. Alright. Just need to unlock these and you can decorate your base with it. Not the cheapest thing, but it's concrete, so, well, there you go. Select milestone, and I gotta wait, say, 7 minutes. Alright, well, I'll unlock these off camera, don't worry about that. So these are just decorative. As a matter of fact, let's show them here, and you can get a better overview of what I'm talking about. Where are the letters? Oh, there are so many, look at this. There you go, there are the letters. Greek letters here, some special characters, the logos we saw before, and the regular letters. There you go. Yeah, this is much better interface. You can now actually see all the rewards you get and not have them drop off screen. Alright, let's go on. As I said, I'll unlock these letters off camera. The 100 plus milestone mods. Now these give a lot of stuff. I'll put it on the screen. This is the standard one, and this is an expansion on top of the 100 ones. Though I don't understand why this expansion exists, because it doesn't give any rewards. So I'm a little confused as to why these milestones exist. Maybe they were just created and to be filled in later. I'm not sure, but right now there's no point in unlocking them. These I'm not going to unlock just yet, even though they have some really good stuff in there. And the reason for that is it's just overwhelming for me, because there are so many things in there. It almost drives me nuts. Now I have to do, is it this one? Yeah, tier 0. So as you can see, it goes up to tier 2, and the rest we can't see yet because they're locked. Turn that off again. But just the first milestone gives you a ton of stuff with new recipes, new items to build, new decorative things, new machines. It's ridiculous. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to unlock the 100 plus milestones at all until I reach the end of the content, which hopefully will be expanded soon with update 4. And hopefully my game won't crash and will still work. So we're putting these two on pause because they're just too overwhelming for me. Icon signs, more signs, yes. So you can highlight your factories. Let's show it here. Where is it? Where's my icon sign? Icon signs, there you go. No, this is a different one. This is for tier 1. I'm looking for the one for tier 0. Here it is. These are just signs with these particular icons on them, so you can highlight your factories. More signs, more better. That is poor English. Alright, where is it? Icon signs, there we go. It's a couple of plates that I don't have right now. The grid ruler. Grid ruler is still in development. I certainly hope that Andre will finish this, because this is very good for our OCD players like myself. It's a free one, so I'll just demonstrate it. And you can actually build a grid where you can align all your factories onto. However, it is only a visual indicator. I think it's under foundations. Yep. It is only a visual indicator. So let me build it here for you. It has a limited range though. It doesn't go across the entire map, but as you can see now, it sets out a grid for you. Unfortunately, it is in the planning, but I don't know if the developer is going to do it. You're supposed to be able to build... Oh, I don't have foundations unlocked yet. Currently, you cannot snap your foundations to this grid. In the future, that is supposed to be possible, so that way you can align all your outposts to the exact same grid. Like I said, OCD players like myself would love that, but currently it's just a visual indicator, so you kind of have to wing it, and it's not that useful. But for those who want it, I would definitely support the developer for this to finish this. This can really help standardize things, and you can just deconstruct it like an item. There you go. Alright. Well, what is the next one that I wish to highlight? Ghost construction. Now that's a wonderful. You can probably guess what it is. It's just empty blueprints, but it allows you to design your factories without actually building them. And this is super handy dandy early game, because what you can do is you can just design your factories using these free ghosts that don't do anything and they don't work. But you can design your factories based on high-level output, which you don't have access to yet. So, for instance, this node, this is an impure node. If I build a Mark 1 miner on it, it'll produce 30 units per minute. But when I have access to a Mark 3 miner, it'll produce 120 units per minute. So I can design a factory based on the 120 units per minute using these ghost designs that don't cost anything. And then once I have actual access to Mark 3 miners, I replace the ghosts with actual buildings accordingly and scale up the production without having to completely rebuild the factory. So just design for maximum production. And these ghosts can really, really help with that. Super handy dandy. I love them. They're great. Alright, next up is beautiful plants. This is an early farming mod. I'll put up the creator here on the left somewhere. These are early game, very handy, but late game the farming mod kind of overrides it, replaces this thing. You can build these plants now. In the vanilla game you cannot. Once you destroy those plants or harvest the plants, they're gone for good. So all of these resources are, in the vanilla game, finite. You cannot get more, except through the doggos, I suppose. But you can't really farm them. This is the means to farm them. And they're quite expensive to build, actually, so it's not that OP. It takes, I believe, 60 nuts. I can show you. It's a free mod. It's under specials. Yeah, it takes 60 nuts just to build one of those plants, but those plants will keep producing the resources. Same with the ones that are normally one-time harvestable. You can now harvest them indefinitely over and over again, but 1,200 leaves just for one tree that produces, I think, 50 leaves per one cycle or per two cycle. It takes a while for them to regrow. But these are nice early game, and late game they're more useful for decorative purposes because the Fix-It Farming mod just overrides the need to have them. But I still have it installed, and they're pretty nice to have. What else? Nature. Ah, yes, this is about a bazillion decorative things. I need to wait for the pod to launch. But these are all elements from the vanilla game that you can now rebuild for a low price. They're just decorative purpose things, nothing more. Remote control is pretty handy. You can place cameras, and you can access those cameras through a remote receptor locally, so you can monitor your factory and tell your buddies that log in what to do from the comfort of your own seat. It also comes with a 3D clock and a chronometer that you can build. Pretty nice. This one I can unlock. As a matter of fact, let's see if I can build the 3D clock. Does it cost anything? I don't have plates and cables right now. Well, I'll build one later anyways. But that's a nice little mod. Nature. Now what is nature? Oh, we discussed that one. And this is also decorative purposes. And these will show up in the More tablet. Again, let me show you here what it unlocks. Where are you? I hated that tier 1, 2, and 0 cannot be filtered out. Maybe a filter option would be nice. Anyways, here's the nature one. As you can see how much it unlocks, it's just mind-boggling. Trees and formations, rock formations, and pretty much anything else. I do wonder if you can farm them after you build them, though. I've never actually built these yet, because I haven't gotten to the point that I wanted to decorate my factory all that much. I must be blind. Oh, here it is. Alright. Here, just concrete shapes that you can build. Again, purely decorative, nothing more. But it's really nice to have. Alright, so that's it for the tier 0 mods. I'll unlock all of these before the next video, except for the 100 plus ones. As I said, they're a bit overwhelming right now, and well, they they deserve an entire series of their own, to be honest. And then next video, once this is all done, we'll start work on tier 1 and which ones I unlock first and why. As you can see, some of these have already been pre-unlocked, like the flags mods and these window mods. Okay, I didn't think they had a milestone. Alright, not sure why they're pre-unlocked though. We'll see that next video, at least if you go and watch it. See you then.